All right, well, this is for the 72 Fast competitors. First of all, thank you guys for putting everything into this class. This has been a lot of fun. It's a lot of work getting bombarded with a lot of questions. So this video is to direct a lot of the questions that's been coming in, kind of consolidating them, trying to answer them to the best of my ability. Also want to draw attention to the sponsors. These are the guys that make this $70,000 to win payout possible, along with $20,000 for second place, $10,000 for semifinals, and the contingency sponsors. So thank you very much to all our sponsors. Support these guys because they are supporting us as racers. So in the rules, it clearly states that engine management has to be an OEM ECM controller. It does not disallow data loggers. So what the questions that were rolling to me is guys that have Motec, and they're like, can I use this to data log, or can I use this to shift my transmission? Short answer is yes, but the only way that I can tech this correctly, if I reach in and I unplug your Motec and the truck no longer starts, that will not pass tech. So you have to make your truck be able to run. Like if you have it for neutral safety, you can start your truck, but I need to be able to unplug the Motec to know that the injectors are not running on the ECM. If you come back after a round, come across the scales, and we reach in and unplug your Motec and your truck shuts off, that will be a DQ. You have to verify 100% that your truck is running on the OEM ECM. If you're using your Motec as a data logger or a transmission controller, that is okay, because guys that have an AAM for a data logger, you reach in, you unplug it, nothing changes with the truck, it does not affect how it runs, you're just using it to collect data. That would go in the same rules. In the nitrous rules, it says no bottles, no lines, no solenoids, no hidden systems. It does not disallow a nitrous controller. Because that has time-based shifting, I know some of you guys use that for lockup control or air shifter control. So we are allowing the maximizer controller to be in place, but there can be no bottles, no lines, no solenoids, or no other hidden systems. Weight and ballast is one of these questions that I reached out to Mike Walker. He is the general manager at Lucas Oil. He has not responded to me. He's usually been really responsive, but this week he is maybe on vacation because he does not answer. So I cannot give a 100% answer on this, but the way I interpret the rules is that 500 pounds is the maximum allowed weight ballast that you can add to a truck. So if you're adding more than 500 pounds, you need to fill a lead bar and weld it in to where it looks like it's part of your chassis or your frame, and it's not a weight ballast. The reason NHRA puts these rules in, because if you turn sideways at 100 miles an hour and take a tumble, those weight ballasts is what ends up killing the driver, because it ends up floating around, going through the cab. So really for your safety, you don't want a lot of weights that can be broke loose. And they say everything that needs to be bolted to the chassis needs to be at least a 1/2 inch bolt. Use your brain. Don't show up with a bunch of tractor weights hanging on a weight rack with a ratchet strap, because that will probably DQ you. I am not NHRA, and I am not the track official that's holding the insurance liability for this race, so I cannot definitively give an answer to that question, but that's the way I interpret that rule. I'll make a post or put it in the WhatsApp group if I get a better clarification on that. Cages are not required. We originally designed this class no time because we had, like, where were the largest group of street trucks that wanted to go out and do heads-up racing, and that's why we came up with the 6,000 pound, because there's a lot of race trucks, street trucks that kind of turned race truck that were still heavy. So I said, well, we'll just make it no time. I didn't think people were gonna make more than 1,020, 1,030 horsepower. I figured maybe, 7.0s, high 6s, just maybe around that cage range would be the time, and now guys are going considerably faster than what I ever thought possible with a 72. The answer to that question is you are required as a racer to show up with the safety equipment to be safe and legal on the racetrack for the times that you run. So being it's no time, nobody's really teching you for a specific time. So you can't say, well, this class has to have an 850 cage or this cage has to have a roll bar in it, because nobody knows how fast anybody is. The way this works, because there's so many dollars on this race, people on the internet, thank you guys, have come up and said, well, I'm going to call out the guy that I race and protest him if he does not have safety equipment in his truck and he beats me. So because of this, I asked Mike Walker last December, how does this work? And he said, this happens often in high stakes racing. He said, what happens if there is a safety protest? He said, they will go to the tower after the pass and they will pull the times of both vehicles. And they will go to both vehicles and they will tech down to the letter of the law every safety component of that vehicle. So if you protest a competitor and say, I think he beat me without the proper safety equipment, just know that you yourself as the protestee are going to get absolutely grilled. And that comes down to your 5-point harness being out of date. Just any little, they will nitpick down to the safety of the letter of the law based on the times that you ran on that pass. So it is of my opinion that you show up with all your safety gear, but it's also of my opinion that if you want to protest, I just keep your mouth shut, because good chance both of you are going to get kicked out if you don't have a very clean ship. So that's my opinion. Why was the 72 fast? Let me think. So Garrett turbochargers. We talked about having a spec turbo class. We talked about stock appearing, and we were scared that it would be a class that everybody would push their truck so hard they'd be popping a turbo every run and it would be a mess. And we're like, man, it'd be really nice if we could just have a Garrett turbocharger class, but then it's a $5,000 turbo. It's really hard to get entries in it. We had a couple of our employees who were running these VS chargers that actually had really good luck with them. And that was why, because the VS is based on a Garrett chassis, we knew that it was strong. So I reached out to VS to see if they'd be interested, because now it was mostly a strong turbo that could make 1,000 horsepower and the entry level was $1,000 or less. That was why that ultimately was chosen. And then VS was excited about the class. They came on board and offered us a discount. And so really thanks to VS for supporting this class. And so far it's been a lot of fun to see how much power we can make with these things. We are bringing 5. We have sold an epic shitload of these turbos. I thought we'd see April 10th, I think we had 40 of them. So I thought we would have plenty to bring along to UCC, and we have sold everything, and we are keeping 5 of them here to take along. VS is actually out of backing plates right now, so they cannot finish putting more together. They're hoping they can still get some done before the event, but he said he can't promise until he gets backing plates back from the machine shop. If you need a VS at the race, 5 of you will be able to buy them. Over and above that, there are a lot of customers who have bought multiples, so there should be an abundance of them throughout the pits. If you need one and we are out of them, then we will make an announcement on the loudspeaker, and I'm guessing we can probably find you one. Deep staging is not disallowed. I was trying to get a hold of Mike Walker on this question as well, but generally, as a rule of thumb, if you want to deep stage and not go red, you have to write deep on your window. That way the tower and the competitor knows that you're gonna deep stage. So we're gonna say that for right now. If you're gonna deep stage, you have to write deep on your window. No time slips. If you wanna know how fast you ran, you gotta run a draggy. That is a great question. We are planning on chip draw at 12 o'clock on Friday. We have drivers meeting at 9 a.m. on Friday, so that's a 3-hour window. It's very difficult to tech 150 trucks thoroughly in a 3-hour window. So we will also have tech open on Thursday from noon to say 7 p.m. Obviously, if you guys show up Thursday evening and want to get tech, come find us. We'll probably find somebody to put tech on you. We're also going to simplify our part in tech by not scaling each truck. It is your responsibility as a competitor to drive to the scales at Indy and weigh your truck yourself to make sure that after the first round, when you roll across, the first number starts with a 6. Because if you are not over 6,000 pounds, you are disqualified. If it is a 5,99999, you're DQ'd. So put an extra 40 pounds in it, bring extra weights, make sure that you're not at bare minimum, because if there's a 10-pound variance and you were 6,010 before the race and you're 5,990 after the race, unfortunately that will be a DQ. It's the easiest way for us to make a clear, hard line in the sand. The first number has to start with a 6. We are going to tech the trucks for nitrous, turbo map width groove, all of our rules that we wrote, that's what we're gonna tech. We have 8 tech inspectors assigned for the Cummins trucks. So that's 1 guy per 10 trucks. Merchant Automotive has put together a team of about 4 people. They may have reached out to HSP or Worley on the Duramax guys to take care of the 18 Duramax trucks. And then SPE with the Ford camp, they're putting together a tech team for all the Fords. So we have a team of people. We're having a meeting and trying to get alignment on all of our rules. So we should be able to knock guys out with tech pretty quickly, but please try to get to the event in a timely fashion to where you're not showing up right before chip draw. We have to get everybody teched before we can draw chips. First round, you go down the track and you lose. I would go to the scale yourself, because if the winner is underweight, you win. But you have to weigh to take the win. So if you go back to the pits and you find out later the guy you won was underweight, you already went back to the pits, you forfeited your win. So winners and losers need to go across the scale until you verify that the winner has passed his weight minimum. It's instant green. You're gonna stage just like normal, pre-stage, stage, and then the starter's gonna flip the switch. And when the starter flips the switch, it'll be a random time that it drops to instant green. So it's not gonna be set on a pre-stage, so there's a human delay plus a random delay, so the lights are gonna be dropping on green. That makes guessing a lot harder that way. If you guess, good chance you're going red. So because there's some spots that have popped up for sale, and this happens from guys having to coach softball teams or work schedules interference, got this question a few times in the last week. I have not disallowed it. There's nothing in the rules that says you cannot buy 2 spots, but we will not wait in any way, shape, or form. We will not hold up the race. So if we draw chips and we're lining guys up and you're not in line, you forfeit your spot. So if you want to spend $1,000 on a spot for just a ramble roll of the dice that you might be able to buy yourself an extra spot, you will have to run 2 numbers on your truck because we have to keep track of numbers. Each truck will be numbered and have to make sure that we can keep track of wins and losses. So you'd have 2 numbers on your truck. It was really kind of a pain in the ass on our part. I would recommend not doing it. It would be great for us. But if you do buy a spot, you can draw 2 chips, and if you happen to be miles apart, you can get 2 chances at the next round. But as soon as your chip draws are too close to each other, you'll have to forfeit a spot, and you're throwing money away. Okay, line locks. There's nothing in the rules that says you cannot have a line lock. The question was posed to me, can I have a line lock button on my steering wheel to launch off of? And I replied with no. The kickback that I got from that was like, I am building brake pressure in the truck with my foot. I am just holding my foot brake pressure with my thumb and then launching. I wrote foot brake racing as a rule because it says transmission and launch rules. Launch rules is foot brake racing. So that means the launch has to be with your foot. I don't care if you have a line lock, there's nothing against the rules, but it has to be controlled with your foot. So if you put a line lock button on your brake pedal, be my guest. I don't think it's an advantage, but if you want to do that, you're allowed to, but there is no hand throwing on the launch. You're launching with your foot. Engine diapers and oil downs, they were asking, is engine diapers required? Per the rules, it is not required. ODSS requires engine diapers or a belly pan in all pro classes. This is pretty close to pro class level racing, so very highly recommended. It is not going to DQ you to not have it. These trucks are making 16 to 1700 foot-pounds of torque. These little turbos make power instantly, so if you short this, shift this thing, if you're showing up with a stock bottom end, you're crazy to not have engine diaper or a belly pan or something like that, because any oil on the track usually loses an hour of race time. We literally will not get this race down if we have 150 trucks show up and 10% of you oil down. please show up with some kind of oil containment and use your brain on before you put your truck on the track and make 17 or 1800 foot-pounds of torque. And if you, like anything can happen at that power level. I say that because I have trucks show up on the dyno, their turbo oil drain's leaking, they got it wrapped in pig mac and zip ties. That doesn't fly on the drag strip tape because you're dripping on the track. Like, just make sure your truck is clean and ready for the racetrack, because this is really, for us to get our race through on Friday and get ODSS in on Saturday, we really need racers to not be spewing oil and fuel all over the track. I know it happens. It's happened to us. We really try to do our due diligence, have skid plates on, have belly pans on, or oil engine diapers. It really helps speed up the race. In the rules, there is absolutely zero testing, zero qualifying at Indy Thursday or Friday before the race. If your truck is on the track racing at Indy before first round of qualifying, you are disqualified for the race. You forfeit your spot. It says it in the rules. There is, on the other hand, a test session at Edgewater down in Cincinnati on Thursday, the day before the race, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you want to get to Edgewater, they're allowing up to 25 trucks, and it's $250 to test at Edgewater the day before the race, and that's 2 hours and 7 minutes from Indy. So for private testing, reach out to Logan Yelton. He has to have 10 trucks locked in before the 20th for that to happen. So if any of you guys want to test, get with Logan Yelton. If you can't get a hold of Logan, you can get a hold of us. I'll get you guys in touch and make that happen. Any other questions, please funnel them in. I tried to write the rules black and white and try to not make it just a long list of rules. That's a real pain to go through in tech. But please just do your part in following the rules the best of your ability. If you're gonna get caught cheating, I'm gonna make you famous, and it's not gonna be in the right way. So show up with a good attitude. It's gonna be amazing racing. We've already had a ton of fun with this. I'm really looking forward to seeing just some amazing racing, heads up. And if you show up with the intentions of being a pain in the butt or cheating, just don't come. I want good diesel racers. We've got a good group of guys. I'm looking forward to this. I think it's gonna be a great event. So any other questions, you can email LaVon@firepunkdiesel.com. I'd be glad to address your questions directly, but hopefully this clarifies a lot of these questions that I was getting on a daily basis.